Hi, and welcome to my channel. I have recently been reading some NPR books, and I just wanted to talk about them. If you don't know what the NPR challenge is, I will link it up above, but it is something I made up myself. NPR has a website where they pick the best books from each year from 2013 to the present. They have actually already started putting 2022 books on there, and they have them divided into a ton of different categories. So I am working my way through the categories, and I just recently started with a new category that's called Family Matters. So the three books that I read for Family Matters were from 2013, 2014, and 2015. 2013 is A Constellation of Vital Phenomena. This book was super cool. First of all, it's a historical fiction book, and I don't know whether it is completely accurate or not because it is about a part of the world that I know nothing about the history of. So I can't say whether it's accurate or not, and I didn't go look that up ahead of time. But the definition of life is a constellation of vital phenomena. And so that's where the title comes from. They talk about that a little bit in this book. This book jumps around timelines. It jumps around perspectives as we shift back and forth. I don't even want to give away what the main part of it is because I feel like discovering it along the way is part of the journey. So I'm just going to say that if you like family drama, this is multiple families in here, but they all kind of intersect each other in certain ways, living through some really hard times in their country. And so that's all I'm going to say, but there's the past and present. If you don't like time jumps and that kind of stuff, you won't like this. But if that doesn't bother you, I highly recommend it. I thought it was so good. I really liked it. Then for 2014, I read Delancey, which is a nonfiction work about a husband and wife starting a restaurant called Delancey. I didn't know anything about this. I don't know anything about restaurants, but I like that this is told from the point of view of the wife. She's a writer in real life, and apparently she was a food writer before they decided to do this. Her husband is the idea man. That's how I feel. That's how I see myself in my relationship, is I'm the idea person, and then the realist comes in and says, maybe that's fine, but did you think about all these other things that have to go along with this? So her husband is the dreamer, but this time he comes up with a dream and he actually is following through on it, and she's really surprised about it. So this is just the two of them and how they navigate their way through starting a restaurant in Washington State. So anybody who's interested in any kind of thing having to do with restaurants or spouse interactions when you're trying to live your life in a big dream kind of way, that might find this book interesting. I thought that it was really well done. Like I said, the wife who wrote about kind of like her husband's experience, what it did to her as he was living out this dream, I thought was really well done. And I liked it. So even though it's nonfiction, if you like nonfiction, I think you would really like this because it's really well written in a relatable way. It didn't feel stilted or hard to understand in any way. Then I finished it out for 2015. I read Melissa by Alex Greeno. Now this one originally was published as George. So it took me a long time because I was looking for George and I kept saying Melissa. And then I was like, oh, Alex must have written a second book called Melissa. And the first book was called George, but that is not true. It's the same book, originally published as George. And then Alex went and was like, we need to change this because George in the book doesn't want to be called George, but Melissa. And so naming it Melissa is what Alex originally really wanted to do. And so Alex talks about it in the back of the book, like the decisions that were made and how they all came up with to get to Melissa being the name of the book. And so this is about Melissa living her life and telling people that she wants to be Melissa. And so that's what this whole book is about. And it is written for middle grade. And so it is just in an understandable, relatable way where you're saying, or where she's saying, this is who I am, and how she decides to tell people, especially starting with like her mom. So I liked all three of these books. They were very different. One was a historical fiction book set in a war-torn country. Another one was a nonfiction book about opening a restaurant in Seattle. And then the other one was a middle grade book about George being Melissa. So they were very varied, I guess, a variety of books and genres and topics, and this is why I really like the NPR challenge that I've given myself, because it is just random, and I pick random books based on the thing that I came up with. So anyway, if you want to know more about that, like I said, go click and watch the original NPR video. I will link that playlist on the end card. You'll be able to click the playlist as well. So that is going to do it for my update on my NPR challenge and where I am. I will be filming a journal review, which I've not filled out my journal in a few months. So I've got to do a really long catch-up session, and I will film that, and that'll be coming up probably in September. So keep an eye out for that, because I made some really cute pages for the NPR challenge, and I'm excited to actually put the books on there that I've been reading. So that's going to do it. I will see you guys in my next video. Let me know if you've read any of these, or if you have any recommendations based on my thoughts about these, because I'd love to hear about them. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.